Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
This is an official question, guys, by the way. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to think about it. Don't be too harsh on yourself if you're not able to solve it. First of all, let's figure out what the question is asking for. M is what? Sum of reciprocals of consecutive integers from 201 to 300 inclusive. What does it mean? What does it mean, guys? M is what? Sum of reciprocals. 1 by, no, why? Inclusive. Inclusive. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So let's first get this clear that this is what the question is saying. Right? This is what M is. And then it says which of the following is true as far as M is concerned. All right, guys. Now think about this. Let us say what I do is, I come up with a number M1. Okay, I come up with a number M1. A drastically changed number where instead of all these denominators, I changed all these denominators to 300. Oh, by the way, how many of these terms are there? That's important. Sorry, 100, right? 201 to 300 inclusive. So this is one term, this is second term, this is third term, and so on till 100 terms. Now, what I'm doing is for each of these terms, I'm just changing the denominator to 300 for every term. So 1 by 300 plus 1 by 300 plus 1 by 300 and so on till 1 by 300. All right. Now I want you to compare the first term, right? 1 by 200, 1 and 1 by 300. Tell me which term is larger? Which term is larger? 1 by 201 is larger or 1 by 300 is larger?
1 by 201.
1 by 201, right? Now, an easy way to think about it is there is this one piece of one cake. I am dividing that cake into 201 pieces. Here I am dividing that same cake into 300 pieces. So obviously dividing into 300 pieces means that each piece would be smaller. Correct? So obviously this is smaller than this. Similarly, do you agree that 1 by 300 is smaller than 1 upon 202? Similarly, this third term is smaller than this. In other words, every term in this is smaller than every corresponding term of this. Are you with me, guys? Right? So M1 overall would be smaller than M, right? Because every term here is smaller than every corresponding term of M. So which means M1 will be smaller than M. And by the way, what is M1? 1 by 300 plus 1 by 300 plus 1 by 300 and so on 100 times. In other words, there are 100 occurrences of 1 by 300. So what is 100 into 1 by 300? 1 by 3. Correct? So now notice what do we have? M1 is 1 by 3. So which means we know that 1 by 3 is lesser than M. By the way, this itself should give you a clue that this is the right answer, right? Okay. Now what I'm doing is the other extreme. The other extreme. I am coming up with a term M2 where I convert every denominator into 200. Here I converted every denominator into 300. Now I'm converting every denominator into 200. So 1 by 200 plus 1 by 200 plus 1 by 200 plus and so on till 1 by 200. All right. Now again, let's do a comparison. 1 by 200 and 1 by 300. Tell me which one is smaller. 1 by 300 is smaller than 1 by 200. So basically almost every term of M is smaller than every term of M2. Correct? So which means M is smaller than M2, right? So let me write it down. M is smaller than M2. And what is M2, by the way? 100 occurrences of 1 by 200, which is how much? Half, right? Since M2 is half, this is what we come up with. 1 by 3 is lesser than M is lesser than half, and hence alpha is the right answer.